about early on. Who was a mentor to you when you were first getting started in the music industry?
Early on in my career was Teddy Raley. He was the producer that changed my life. Listening to the music that he made with his group Guy, Keith Sweat, all the early New Jack Swing stuff that was out, he was killing it. And for me, I was so into that sound as a youngster. I remember being 11 years old and trying to emulate Teddy Raley. And he was everything. He was everything to my career. I mean, then having the opportunity to meet him at 14 years old and to play my music for him, and him telling me that I was good enough to make it was kind of the inspiration, the extra, I guess, encouragement that I needed to know that this was real and it wasn't just some fluke of some kid who was in the basement trying to make beats, but actually someone that could have a career.
What was the experience like when you met Teddy Raley for the first time?
Well, let me tell a story, because it's an interesting story. So, Teddy Raley was I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Teddy Raley was in Atlantic City, New Jersey for the Impact Convention. And I did a local demo for some group, and he heard the demo, and he told the group that whoever produced these songs, he's really good. So they told me, and I was floored, and I was like, I gotta meet Teddy. And I looked on the back of a CD cover and it said his studio was in Virginia Beach. I told my dad, I said, Dad, can we please go to Virginia Beach? He was like, for what? I was like, we just gotta go there. I have to meet Teddy Raley. He was like, he doesn't know you, you don't know him. He's not just gonna let you. I said, well, let's just try. Let's just try. So I gathered all my music together. We got in the van and we drove 6 hours to Virginia Beach. We got there about 9:30 in the morning. We parked outside the studio and we waited for him to come. And he got there probably like 2 in the afternoon. And I went up to him and I said, I'm the kid that did the music that you heard last week by the group. And he goes, come in my studio. Playing my music for him changed my life. And then hearing him talk about how good the music was really changed my life. And I never looked back from that day on.
How supportive was your family when it came to your music career?
I come from a musical family. My father played piano. My mother was the choir director. My brother was a producer. My sister, Shireen, played the drums. My other sister, Punkin, she sang and dabbled with the piano. In the beginning, my father didn't approve of me making R&B music because we were rooted in hardcore, spiritual, Pentecostal background church. So like doing any type of secular music was like forbidden. But I think my dad when he started to see the love I had for the art of music. It wasn't about me making music that was derogatory. It was more about me making music that I love to make. And he then got behind it, actually. And he actually became my manager at a young age. He didn't want no one else managing me but him.
How did you get the nickname Dark Child?
Actually, I was about 17 years old when Dark Child was born. It was me, my father, my attorney at the time, and his assistant. And we were just sitting around like, yo, we have to come up with a name for you. Everybody has a name or a production company name. And so we just we toyed around like Boy Wonder, and then looked it up. Someone else had Boy Wonder. And then I never forget, my attorney just said, he was like, how would you describe your sound, musical sound? And I said, I play a lot of minor chords, and minor chords are considered dark. And then we started playing around, dark boy, dark kid, dark child. And it just, it rang. And being dark skinned helps too, so it worked.
Who were some of your early music inspirations?
As a young child, I listened to so much music. I started, I was into Teddy Raley and Guy, but then I started getting into like Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones. I would listen to bands like the Bee Gees, and I would listen to artists like Whitney Houston. Never thinking I was gonna work with them someday. And I wasn't a normal listener, meaning like I didn't just put on songs and listen, I studied. For me, it was like, I really had to dissect the art form and know, I really was into production, so I wanted to know, why did they sing with that? Why does their voice shake? Oh, that's called vibrato. I was classically trained at 5 years old. I took classical lessons for 8 years. And when I turned 13, I found out that I had an ear. something was playing in a restaurant one day. Went to a restaurant, me and our family, and something was playing, and I went over to the piano to see if I could play it back, and I played it back, and that was the first day I discovered that I can play by ear. If you listen to a lot of my hit records, you'll hear tidbits of classical in it, because I was classically trained, so that's where it came from.